Before we get into this episode, we just want to ask you if you would like to support us on Patreon. Maybe you'd like to, I don't know, give us money on Patreon.
Please support us on Patreon.
If you go to patreon.com/candyisdandy, you can financially support this show because this candy isn't free.
Put candy in our pockets.
Yeah, take it out of a kid's pocket and put it in our pocket. So you can support us there. Right now it's just financial support, but if we get enough of you, we will start doing bonus episodes where we review candy as well. So
and cookies as well.
Wow.
Well, what have we been eating this whole time?
Little cookies.
So patreon.com/candyisdandy. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye. Candy corn.
What a fittingly meek entrance of candy corn. Please welcome.
I'm Candy Corn.
Candy corn.
And nobody
I think you might have bought tickets to the wrong show.
I think you thought I was a candle, and I kind of taste like a candle, granted, but...
Welcome, everybody, to Candy is Dandy.
Candy. This is the episode you don't want to do.
I was gonna suggest we do like an echo thing. I'm gonna say Candy is Dandy, and you try.
Oh yeah.
Candy is Dandy.
Dandy.
Oh my God!
Someone's at the home.
We've awoken the Balrog, the Candy Balrog. I'm Daniel Zaffron, the Candy
Guru,
the Candy Connoisseur.
Oh, I am Beto Sistos, the sexy sweetie.
And what are you, Greg?
I'm Greg Gonzalez, the candy cult leader. Hi.
Oh, hail.
I'm just in it for the community, for the sense of community. So, do we have anything to say before we get into some news?
Yes, thanks for listening.
What a mistake you've made by clicking on this.
We've got quite a divisive episode.
I was the one, it was my turn. I picked it, and I purposely picked something that was going to turn us against each other.
Unite us.
Or possibly unite us. We'll find out.
No.
We have way too many knives in this room right now.
I know. It was a necessary evil, this episode, I think. But before we get into that, bring in the news, boy. We've got some candy news.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Don't eat the candy corn. We save those. It's not food.
I thought it was teeth, and I started eating them.
You'll choke on those.
We take such little care of you, but we also don't want you to do something so rash as to eat candy corn.
Tell my widow that I was stabbed. Please don't tell her that I ate candy corn.
This 12-year-old has a widow. What are we doing to this poor soul? Who cares? He brings us news.
I'm from another era. It's okay back then.
So this is some interesting stuff I've got here for you.
I hope so.
We're going to need it.
This is going to be the best part of the episode. Researchers from the Max Planck Institute for Marine Microbiology in Germany, a place we all applied to go to. That was my backup, my safety school.
Yeah.
They have discovered mountains of sugar under the sea.
Under the sea. So underneath salt water is sweets.
The whole ocean is saltwater taffy.
That's
isn't
why
it?
people are so scared to go too deep into the ocean, as they might find sugar.
All of those like fish that have the lights on it there, those are Swedish fish, all of them. The reason that's there, they discovered that seagrass meadows underwater, they capture a ton of carbon, which is almost 2 times as much carbon as the trees on land do, and they capture it much faster. And as part of this photosynthesis, they release sucrose, aka sugar. The excess comes out into the seabed around them. And that's why, like, the floor of the ocean, the floor is no longer lava. The floor is sugar. Worldwide, they estimate there could be up to 1.3 million tons of sugar in the ocean floor, which would be enough for 32 billion cans of Coke.
Wow. And they're going to make it.
And there's no creatures eating this?
Yeah.
I'm sure that they're like, I mean, how could you resist?
Yeah.
But I don't know, like a creature isn't thinking like, I wonder if this sand, which I don't normally eat, tastes good. The seagrass, I mean, global warming is killing all this seagrass. So goodbye sugar and welcome back carbon.
Michelle Obama's getting what she wants.
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
Thanks
found all the sugar at the ocean floor.
All of our otters are getting overweight. I don't know if they can harness this in any way, but like it seems like there's an untapped resource down there that I have yet to create a monopoly of.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it doesn't dissolve in the water because there's too much salt.
That's kind of weird. Yeah, I guess I don't know why it's not, when I put sugar in my water, because I've just landed on this planet.
When I run a marathon and I put sugar in my water.
When I sweeten my water.
I met this nice farmer and I looked a lot like her husband because I stole his skin and I asked for sugar in the water. But I don't know why it's not doing that. I guess maybe it is the salt or maybe it just is a different form of sucrose that won't, because, I'm sure you can't be like, you knock on the ocean's door. Can I borrow a cup of sugar and just like take a scoop of dirt and be like, oh, my pound cake is complete. Like, I'm sure there's something you've got to do to it before it's sugar as we know it.
I was really hoping that he didn't like put a stick in the ocean floor and like, oh, the levels are up. I hope like he just like put a handful of ocean sand in his mouth. Like, oh, that's pretty sweet.
He put a dip stick. What do you?
Oh, a fun dip.
A fun dip stick into it.
Lickamaid, yeah.
Call back. It was all very scientific, but that's our candy news. So get out of here, little newsboy. I don't need you anymore.
This is the only purpose I have to live. So thank you very much. I'm gonna go now.
See. Everybody who may or may not be offended by this character, he loves his job. He loves it down there.
It's all he has.
So support us on Patreon so he can live.
Yeah. So he can live to see us make money.
Those iron lungs are expensive.
Let's get into what we are doing today. What we are doing to ourselves, what we are doing to the listener, what we are doing to the world today.
We're going to be talking about the history of candy corn. And along with that, we're going to eat some of it. And it's not going to be great, but we're going to do it.
Okay, so nobody here likes candy corn.
I found defenders, and I was going to have a segment of like, do you want to write in and defend it? And they didn't really have much to say about it. But other than what they like the most is the texture, which is weird.
It is weird because it is waxy. Melissa loves it. Every year she'll get candy corn.
Really?
But as we've seen, which I'll explain later, she will not eat the whole bag because like after you eat some of it, it's like, I'll wait till next year.
I'll get it. Yeah. I think that there was a year, it wasn't the same year, but it was similar things happened where there was a year where I obsessively ate candy corn and there was a year where I was really into eggnog. And then they're both seasonal treats. And then next year came in.
And you had to smoke a whole pack of eggnog.
No, drink it, hit the bottom of the jug. Like the very next year after having those treats, I'm like, can't wait for candy corn, can't wait for eggnog. And it touches my lips. I'm like, oh my God, what was last year like?
Oh man, I love eggnog. Let's do an episode on eggnog.
Nature's candy. I mean, I've probably had like 4 candy corns in my life, and I have never liked it. But it is, there's like that My Strange Addiction where people like chew on light bulbs. So it's sort of like a low level.
I like that you're
disorder. I think
entry level disorder.
Yeah, it's family friendly. My Strange Addiction is candy corn.
Oh, little red flags, my favorite candy.
I mean, it's like a candle. It's like eating wax. It's like eating wax lips. Like it's not. Are these meant to be eaten? Or is this just like decoration for Halloween?
Well, I hope you get into it because I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, it is for a lot of people just a nostalgic treat, but I think it's really generational. And that generation that really liked it because they grew up getting that for Halloween and it being like a treat.
The greatest generation.
I think they're losing all their teeth.
They're eating actual corn thinking it's candy corn. We should mention that we are recording this out of season for candy corn. So it was kind of hard to get candy corn. We'll explain where we got ours, but it was it's weird that candy corn is seasonal because it's not corn. Like it's there.
Let's get into it.
Okay, tell me a story.
Candy corn, the candy that neither tastes like candy nor looks like corn. Could you believe candy corn dates back to the 18th century? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can. Absolutely can.
What I can't believe is that it made it out of the 18th century.
It should have faded out with the paddles with the balls and you just hit it. That's the same era that they belong in.
The last hoop being pushed with a stick.
Mutton chops and a curly mustache. It's all the same era.
When the Beatles came to America and everyone stopped wearing mutton chops.
No one knows for absolute certain who first came up with candy corn, but a lot of it...
They don't know who to punish.
It's because he's in hiding.
He asked to be stricken from the record. Please take my name off that, please. But a lot of people think that this sweet treat belongs to a man named George Reniger, a candy maker who ran the Wonderly Candy Company, which was based in Philadelphia. Reniger was known as the inventor of a whole genre of candy known as buttercreams.
Bad.
Oh.
Which is bad candy. He pioneered it. People were like, I can't do what he does. I just can't do it.
How does he make a living off this?
Buttercreams. What is a butter? Because when I'm thinking of a buttercream, I'm thinking of like a See's Candy buttercream where it's like chocolate, like really rich chocolate. But are you talking about like the mint sort of
It's sort of
things?
like what the mints are. I think I have it in here. Fondant and marshmallow. Yeah, it's like kind of like fluffy and it has a texture and it was molded into a lot of shapes, kind of like
like a circus peanut.
Like a circus peanut. I think that's what a lot of it.
Same family, maybe.
The
circus family, candy corn and.
But they were called buttercreams or mallow creams, but they're the same like type of candy.
Okay,
he was apparently responsible for that. I've heard otherwise too, doing all the reading.
One of the brands we have is described on the bag as Mellow Cream.
Mallow cream is sort of like a bastard grandchild of that.
Wow. Boy, oh boy, I bring a bag of candy and Greg calls it a bastard child. I try to be supportive.
Show me your father. You're not a bastard? Show me your father right now.
It's just a cob of corn and a candle. Meet the parents.
Who let these two together? Whether he came up with the buttercream candies or not, they became pretty standard at the time. Buttercream soft candies could be molded into any shape, and because farming and agriculture were such a big part of this country in the late 19th century, a lot of them were molded into shapes of fruits and veggies and other natural things. So you get a buttercream soft candy shaped like a turnip or a clover, a pumpkin or a chestnut, so on.
Okay.
Or a witch being burned at the stake. But that's the same thing. That's like where Jelly Beans came from, because the company was originally candy corn. But it's like marzipan, how they make like, look at this marzipan, Kaiser Wilhelm. Like, yeah, it looks good. And I love Kaiser Wilhelm, but it tastes gross. Like, just because it looks and you can do all this stuff with it doesn't mean you should eat it.
Yeah, I appreciate the form it makes and the artistry behind it.
It's like those cakes where they look like it's like a crazy design on a cake, but it's not, that part of it is not really meant to be eaten.
Yeah, the thing that allows it to take the shape and look realistic is part of the reason I don't want to eat it.
Yeah. Well, it's weird though, because actually Melissa, who likes candy corn, also likes marzipan. So I guess there's a correlation between those two. So
genetic deficiency.
Some sort of vitamin she's not getting.
Sorry, Melissa.
It's a side effect of another thing. Nobody knows what it is. So in that era, making the candy was an effort that required several men. As anything did.
One to make it and one who was forced to test it.
One had a gun to the other guy's head.
Please don't make me do this.
Please don't make me.
It's like the scientists who were making the atomic bomb.
Sugar, corn syrup, and other ingredients were cooked into a slurry in large kettles. Fondant and marshmallows were added to give it the smooth texture and bite, and 45 pounds of warm candy were poured into buckets called runners. Workers called either stringers, I think it's stringers, had to walk backwards pouring the candy starch into cornstarch trays imprinted with a candy shape.
This is labor intensive.
Yeah, I can see why it took two men.
My God.
That sounds disgusting. It just sounds like all of the worst candies melted together and then poured into corn.
Let's add corn to all this. According to legend, sometime in the
cornding.
That's funny. You got that in really. That totally derailed me. Thank you.
Worth it.
Let me just put the old quip guns back in the holster.
I'm waiting for a Freak on the Leash reference coming soon. It's in there. According to legend, sometime in the harvest season of the late 1880s, Reniger wanted to create a single mold shaped like a kernel of corn layered with different colors. That actually conflicts with another thing I read, which is that in the same era, corn wasn't thought of as having any health benefits for human. Corn was used as...
It kind of doesn't.
What?
Corn. Like
corn?
That's why, I mean, not to get disgusting, but like when you eat corn, it usually comes out.
How does it come out?
Let me draw you a picture. Actually, what am I talking about? It's my lock screen. But it like your body doesn't digest corn.
Right.
Like I don't know what goes on, but like you don't get much from corn. It's good. I'm not putting down corn. I love corn.
It sounds like you're putting down corn.
Yeah.
And if you put down corn, you put down popcorn, and then we can't be friends anymore.
And if you put down popcorn, you put down me.
My family's legacy.
What about corn tortillas?
Corn. It's
go ahead yourself.
I'm not putting down corn. How many times do I have to say it? There's just no
but corn sucks. I'm not putting it down.
I've always been open about my love of corn with the backwards K. But It's just one of those things that your body doesn't do anything with corn.
All right, we need a listener
Samples.
to send in their defense of candy corn.
Hang on. Let's see where this sentence is going.
And then a listener to send in their defense of corn.
Okay, yeah.
Do it now.
In defense of corn.
Yeah. The problem with candy corn is the corn part, right, guys? That's the problem.
Your body doesn't get anything from this.
I was digging through my feces and there's all these unprocessed candy corn in there. So him wanting to make a mold of something that looked like corn conflicts with another thing that I had read was so originally, because people weren't eating corn at the time, originally when candy corn was made, it was called chicken feed. And that makes sense. As we're just talking about optics, what it looks like.
Case in point, it's being fed to chickens because they don't need much.
So you've gone through chicken feces before. You know they can't process it. You know that, right?
I've seen
I've seen it.
I've seen the samples.
Oh, what a way to market it.
It doesn't look like corn, but it kind of looks like the angular chunks of petals that constitute chicken feed.
Yeah.
Like it looks
Like seeds.
like
It
seeds.
does look like a seed.
But I mean, I could see like
But isn't a corn a seed? Or am I mistaken?
a corn.
Touche.
Or is it a grain?
Which came first, the candy corn or the chicken that ate it? But it kind of looks like, like I could see this white part being like the root that sticks into the cob, and then you've got like the meats is the orange, and then the like the chaff, I guess, is the yellow.
We'll get into what the color scheme is supposed to also look like too.
Wow.
But that leads right into that. So
Let's do it now.
yeah, whatever the triangular mold is supposed to look like doesn't matter, because what stuck out to people in that era wasn't the taste or the title, it was the tricolor design of the candy. That's how old this candy is like, it's colored. And
They didn't like a lot of colored stuff back then, but they liked it in candy. Okay.
like it's edible. It's sold because it had 3 colors. Oh, that was the joke that I wrote. That was the tag that we all interrupted. It's
According to Greg's research.
It said that the tricolor is supposed to mimic corn, yellow on top, and then it goes darker and then more white at the end, like a shade.
This is like what I see in my stool. This is exactly it.
It tastes just like out of my stool too. The candy was pretty successful, and Reniger eventually sold his candy in 1898 to the Golitz Confectionery Company, which we learned last week is Jelly Belly.
Jelly Belly. That wasn't last week. We don't know when this was.
Oh yeah, that's right. We learned at some point. Candy corn crawled so Jelly Belly could run. I wrote that. Bazooka Joe wrote that. I don't know. How did they get it? Access to my Google Docs. They either kept the name Chicken Feed or saw a nameless product and then called it Chicken Feed. But when it was originally sold, it was called, like I said.
You're saying chicken feed, right? Not chicken feet?
Feed.
Okay.
The chicken feet. No. And originally the chicken feed was sold in these really neat boxes with like a rooster on the front, and it had a slogan that was like something worth crowing for. It looks like a giant cigar box, but that's how you would get.
Okay.
I'd prefer candy corn than that.
That would make it taste better.
No,
Cigar box?
I'd rather have cigar box chicken feed.
Full title.
I'd rather have the chicken feet.
So around World War II, the one with the Ark of the Covenant, corn was starting to be people feed.
Which was filled with candy corn.
Close it. Don't look at it, Marion. Do I have to eat that? Oh! Skin mouth off his. It's unclear when it started being called candy corn, but by the 1940s, it had an ad in the paper calling it as such, and the Golitz Candy Company had to stop calling it buttercreams because there was no actual butter in it.
So what is it then? Are you going to tell us?
Yeah. I think I do. I think I have it written in here somewhere.
So you're tiptoeing around what a candy corn is.
He's keeping you.
We're still going through history. For decades, this was a dime store or pharmacy penny candy, meaning it was in a little glass jar.
Yeah, this is
and
like
you get a baggie of it for a penny, or you can buy a pound of it.
This is the epitome of loose candy. A bulk candy. I know I've been saying a lot of stuff about corn and toilets, and then you use the word loose, but this is like where I got mine. It was in a glass jar, and I said, give me this amount of that.
Was it still a penny?
I wish. See, I tried to convince them, but I'm telling you, this is what it's worth. But it was certainly not a penny where I got it.
I bit it, and I said, this is worth a penny. And he disagreed some and said there's something about sales tax.
And then I bit the penny to see if it was real, and it tasted better.
I just love the way you said loose candy, the way like fathers in the 50s would say loose women. Oh, this is for sure a loose candy. It has way too many boyfriends.
The way it's dressed with 3 colors.
Its white is showing to everybody.
You're not going out with that loose candy, are you? Going to see a movie with loose candy?
Candy corn was incredibly successful, and it carried the Golitz Candy Company through both world wars and a depression. chocolate candy bars, of course, ended up slowing down its progress to the top. And as far as the internal company goes, once Jelly Belly Jelly Beans were on the scene, that was it. Like candy corn just falls.
Right.
Shout out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They walked so Jelly Belly could run.
Candy corn was cast into the shadows.
No.
Much like our intern.
That's where we keep all the candy corn.
He is a candy corn that came to life.
But it would take a plucky late autumn holiday to keep it alive.
Sometimes it's good to be in the shadows.
Sometimes it's good.
If you're Nosferatu.
Oh no, our intern is Nosferatu. He's carrying his coffin around.
Really fast.
Trick-or-treating wouldn't become a traditional pastime till the 50s, and candy corn was a treat bag heavy hitter because of its links to autumn, because it was technically sweet and technically
Technically, let's get technical here.
Technically, we're edible. Candy corn.
They on the bag, not edible, decorative only. And it because it technically also looked like corn/chicken feed. It seemed to fit within the themes of the season. And to give out candy corn on Halloween.
It's the reason for the season is candy corn.
But if you also came from a religious family who hated fun, it was also a good harvest day treat.
Right. Time to celebrate, not Samhain. How do you pronounce it?
Samhain?
I think it's pronounced differently.
Samhain.
Yeah, right.
That's what it is. Oh, yeah, right, me. I'm right.
Let you get in trouble with our pagan listeners.
Yeah, the country of Ireland is emailing us. What's this about? Oh, no. Oh, no, we did it again.
Which of the many times that we made fun of Ireland?
It's not that we called whiskey a candy for Irish people. It's this. Also, making candy corn was a slow and labor-intensive process. It could take 24 hours to make candy corn from scratch, from the starch modeling. So candy corn and all its mallow cream siblings were only produced from May to November and synced up perfectly with Halloween.
Because it's like tamales. It's like so hard.
Yeah.
We bring the whole family in. We're staying up all night and making candy corn.
That's why we're eating candy corn till Christmas. Because we're just like, this is it for the year.
Your freezer's full of candy corn. They both come in a corn husk. Well, this doesn't, but...
What? How have I been eating it this whole time?
That would be more fun if they came in little husks, like those Vietnamese candies that have rice paper wrapper.
And there was a joke in every husk. That was good.
A really funny joke.
Well, there's a lot of pictures online of people making candy corn on the cob, and you make it in a circle, then just pile it up, and it starts looking...
Could you imagine biting into a candy corn on the cob?
God, the overwhelming taste.
Of nothing. Of emptiness.
Of wax.
So it's obviously because of that, it became associated with Halloween perfectly.
Mm-hmm. A staple
of Halloween.
But it's so interesting that you say that, because when I look at candy corn, it is the colors of Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me think of Halloween.
Yeah, it's graphically linked with Halloween because of the white and the orange.
Yeah, like if you're like, I'm throwing a Halloween party, I'm going to go get Halloween decorations. It's going to be like pictures of candy corn and stuff like that. It really is... For something that's so bad to be the mascot of the best holiday.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, it's more important graphically than it is as a treat.
And I think it should stay that way.
It is very iconic.
It is. It's maybe the most iconic candy.
I think it would. Yeah, I think that, and then the gumballs wrapped in a little circle with the two ends coming out. That's like standard, like visual candy. Like, I understand that that's a gumdrop. But here's the thing: October 30th is National Candy Corn Day.
Wow.
So Devil's Night is National Candy Corn Day?
They burned down Detroit, but also candy corn gets its own day too. Oh, what'd you guys get for the NCCD this year? National Candy Corn Day. Got it. Okay. I love discovering my own jokes. I mean, Bazooka Joe's jokes in my...
Bazooka Joe's our new staff writer.
But candy corn is not just for Halloween anymore. Candy makers have... It's not even for Halloween.
What do you mean, just?
Candy makers have made candy corn themed for Christmas, Valentine's Day, and Easter in recent years.
Valentine's. How many podcasts do I have to correct you saying Valentine's Day?
3.
One more show. What do they do for Christmas?
I think I wrote that down later in the notes. Yeah, I did. Okay, we'll get back to that. They also introduced several additional flavors of candy corn, from peppermint to pumpkin spice. No thanks.
I could do pumpkin spice.
I'll try the peppermint.
Sounds gross.
Yeah, try the peppermint.
I'll try peppermint. No pumpkin for me.
What's wrong with pumpkin spice? What's everyone named pumpkin spice all of a sudden?
What is pumpkin spice really?
Pumpkin?
It's the spices you put in a pumpkin pie. So it's like nutmeg, cinnamon.
Right. I think it's a lot of cinnamon. That's why people are like, oh, this is just cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? My favorite candy, cinnamon.
The official ingredients of candy corn is sugar, fondant. For those who don't know, it's edible icing for form, like sugar, water, and corn syrup. It's how they make like the molds for stuff. So that's really what the texture is. That's why it's kind of like plasticky.
Yeah. It really feels like shaping food.
Shaping food. Marshmallow cream, corn syrup, and a vanilla flavoring, although not enough.
Yeah.
So we talked about the buttercream process, having to have to make the slurry, then walk backwards. It's a little different for candy corn. For candy corn, it would take 3 passes to make each color: white, yellow, and orange. You'd have to make a pass for each one. The passes required great strength and endurance since the runner had to lift and carry the big buckets of, I think they called it hot cooked candy. And you have to walk back and forth to do each layer of the thing.
And everybody who worked there is like
scarred. Yeah.
No, I was just scratching. I wasn't indicating a scar. I was scratching my delts. But they're
my bare rib cage.
They're all built like Randy Savage, the strongest man I could think of on the spot.
Why not me?
Yeah, like I said, Randy Savage.
A very loud room that they're making the candy in. Guy keeps shouting stuff.
Brother. No, that's the wrong guy.
Now all this is done by a machine, but pretty much the same process. Same process is just done by machines now. First, the depression of the mold is filled with partially set white candy, which is the mallow cream. Then the orange mallow cream is added. Then the mold finishes by cooling. Then they empty the trays, and a Candyman adds a glaze to the candy for shine.
A Candyman can?
A Candyman can. Candyman can, because he mixes it with glaze.
Is the Candyman also a robot?
Yeah, it's a robot.
It's all robotic.
It's like every Twilight Zone episode now.
The Candyman can provide you with some fun.
Kill it! He's owned by Skynet.
And make the world taste good.
He's a shapeshifter now.
Come with me if you want to eat.
Come back in like 20 minutes. So the noticeable brand now is the Brox candy.
Do you pronounce? I always thought it was Brax, but Melissa was calling it Brox. But Brax is the guy from Space Ghost, so I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. Let's not disparage his good name.
I'd say Brox.
I would say Brax. I'm a Brax guy.
It's probably Brax. I'm convinced.
He's still running for senator, so he's taking both sides.
You flip-flopper.
Yeah, that's the like name brand candy corn is Brox.
Yeah, that's the most popular of them, yeah.
And it says on it made with real honey. So I guess there's honey in the Brax.
Oh, maybe. I guess there would be.
There's a lot of good ingredients for it to be so bad.
Yeah, I don't know what went wrong.
You know how like you add every color together and it makes like beige or something? That's what like candy corn is.
I'm going to try every soda flavor in the dispenser. Oh, it's bubble gum.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can put the best players on a team and the team won't work.
You're absolutely right.
Wise. You miss 100% of the teams.
You're not recruited to.
That you put them on the same players, different strategies.
Enough about the LA Kings. Let's talk about candy corn.
Okay. Yeah, all the best players.
All the best players in hockey are on the Kings.
All the best players in the league are on the on the 2022 LA Kings.
So you brought the Brax/Brox Autumn Mix.
Okay, it's the Autumn Mix because it is impossible this time of year to find Brax/Brox. So luckily Melissa had gotten it last fall and there was still this open bag.
Fresh.
Still tastes the same.
I am pretty sure it probably will taste exactly the same. So we have a slightly old Brax/Brox Autumn Mix. Yeah, do you have something to say about Autumn Mix?
Probably. I brought the CVS brand, which is the Golden Emblem bound, which they started in 2014 to package like little snacks and stuff and rip off everyone's candies.
So that's their, generic brand.
Yeah.
Old people series of candy.
Yeah, it's like peppermints and like hard oranges.
Yeah. And the, what's the old people golden candy?
Oh, God. It's like butter toffee or something.
No.
Isn't that butter toffee?
Butter toffee is one of them.
Butterscotch.
Butterscotch. Thank you, butterscotch.
Yeah, that's gross stuff.
No, it's not. It's really good. Okay.
Was that sarcastic? I'm confused.
Let me just finish up about Brox, which produces 4 types of candy corn now. You have the Autumn Mix. There's a Mallow Cream Pumpkins. There's Indian corn, which I think is in the Autumn Mix.
Indian corn?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the one, because one of them is just orange with brown.
Yeah, is that
that's Indian corn?
I think that's Indian corn.
It sounds offensive.
Yeah.
Maybe from India. We don't know.
That's true.
Do they go corn there? I don't know. I know 3 things about India, and that's not one of them. They also tried a Milkmaid caramel apple. Didn't go over well. There's a red, green, and white reindeer corn for Christmas. That's the one you're asking about. And a pastel butter corn for Easter. Harvest corn and pumpkins are 2 of the more famous offshoots of candy corn. Maybe this is a harvest corn then.
It's got, I mean, it looks harvest. I mean, it's in the autumn mix.
Yeah.
It's not in the Indian mix.
It doesn't have what types of products they have in that bag, or is that where the part where you ripped it?
That's a really good question.
Yeah. I'm sure Indian mix has been discontinued.
Guys, Native American.
At the very least canceled.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know what company makes Brax?
What?
The Ferrera Candy Company of Ferrero Rocher.
Ferrari Rocher?
Why? Why are they taking that on?
And Butterfinger, they're
Wow, I didn't
and
know
it's made
that.
in Mexico.
Really?
Ah.
Oh, I guess it's work.
It's a living.
So as we know, candy corn is an incredibly divisive candy. Are you going to keep looking for that?
I'm mesmerized by this.
The bag.
This old open bag of candy.
Yeah.
There's a freshness guarantee on it, so we could say, I ate a 6-month-old open bag, and it wasn't so fresh.
So candy corn, you either love it or you hate it. People who love it tend to remark on two things. One is tangible, one is intangible. The texture. A lot of people love the texture. The other thing people love is the nostalgia of it. This is what I ate when I was a little kid, or this is what like my grandparents would just have around because they ate it because they used to trick or treat in the 50s. Yeah. And then they
Because they didn't know what good candy tasted like. People have very strong opinions on candy corn.
Yeah, I went to two people and I just asked them, like, you love candy corn, right? And they just went on, like, yeah, it's like the old-timey taste.
Yeah, what of it?
Yeah, what of it? But they're incredibly defensive about it. And it requires you to be defensive.
I don't think there's a middle of the road with candy corn.
No.
Like, who says, like, okay, I'll have some candy corn.
I'll have a handful.
I'm really stupid.
I don't know where I actually am right now. In a poll to determine people's favorite Halloween candy, the National Confectioners Association found that candy corn ranks second on the list.
Come on.
But at just 13% popularity, it's far below chocolate, which dominates with 70%.
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
Chewy
that's
and
right.
gummy candy rank third and fourth with 6 and 5%, respectively.
What? That
Yep.
little?
Yeah, it's good to be the king.
It's worth noting, of course, that most of those categories encompass many types of candies, while candy corn is generally pretty homogenous. So, like...
Yeah, it's not like candy corn gummy.
Yeah.
It's just can't. Well, we have Indian mix. I guess we have Indian corn and
Alabama, my favorite musical. Alabama, Idaho, Iowa, Michigan, Nevada, New Mexico, and Rhode Island named candy corn as their favorite Halloween candy based on sales data from 2007 to 2017.
Oh, wow. Going strong.
It's weird.
It was very popular in the Midwest. I read that. I don't know if I listed it on my notes.
Well, but then we talked about with Jelly Belly, like butter was the top flavor for a while. People they just like butter and corn in the middle of the country.
And we're so happy for them. And they're
Please listen, subscribe, and donate to our Patreon.
America's greatest people.
Yeah, give us all your farm money.
It was also the number 6 seller nationwide behind Skittles, M&M's, Snickers, Reese's Cups, and Starburst.
Number 6.
It's way too successful. That's unacceptable.
That's crazy. But maybe we're living in like a left coast liberal bubble.
I
of
kind of
like,
thought the same thing of like, this is the same thing of like, we all laugh like, who's going to vote for Trump? And then like overwhelmingly, like a lot of people, like we don't even ask other people from other towns.
Yeah, we are so unaware of what other people are into.
Yeah. Rhode Island, what's that? Is that in the tropics? What is that? So lay some facts on you guys. One kernel of candy corn from the makers of Jelly Belly is just over 4 calories. A 1-ounce serving is 110 calories.
Well, you can fit a lot of candy corn in an ounce.
Yeah? How about in your mouth right now?
Let's see, go.
Yeah, go.
Half of one, and then I projectile vomit.
Chug.
Corn.
Get ready for this one. About 9 billion kernels of candy corn are sold annually, according to the National Confectioners Association.
How much of that goes into the garbage?
It's padding. We melt it down as a layer so nothing can go through and we don't get any leakage on the ships.
But like I said, in one bag of candy corn, there's probably like 1 billion candy corns in one bag.
I don't know how to count.
Infinite?
Yeah.
But there's so many candy corn in a bag of candy corn.
That's true. That is true.
So it's not like everyone in the country buys 4 bags of candy corn.
Right.
It's probably like 20 people are buying a bag of candy corn, and there's 9 billion candy corn.
A billion's a lot, and there's 9 billion sold a year.
I want to say, if you walked into a CVS in the fall, candy corn season, there is probably over 1 million candy corns in that store when you walk in there.
Okay. Okay.
I'm counting the back room also.
Okay. You're really bad at math, but that's okay.
I'm just impressed people are buying.
It's weird. People are into strange things.
Candy corn is certified OU kosher.
Oh, yeah.
The only OU product on the market.
Here we go.
Shout out.
Suddenly, it's moving up on my list.
And once the package is open, store candy corn covered and away from the heat and light of the room temperature. It should last 3 to 6 months. If unopened, packaged candy corn will last about 9 months.
So is it expired, Daniel?
I think we're like a day from it expiring.
Oh, okay.
great.
All right.
So we got it just in time.
Just under the wire.
We'll meet the window.
Now talk about the really nice bag you brought from
Okay, so-
Beverly Hills.
Because if you're not from LA, Beverly Hills is where celebrities live.
Where homeless get ejected.
on a bus and dig into Nevada.
In the most cruel way you could imagine. So I wanted to try to bring different types of candy corn to see if there was any difference. And I happened to be at Edelweiss, which is in Beverly Hills. Very, very, very expensive candy corn.
Yeah.
Yes, but also a very expensive candy shop. It's the candy shop where I Love Lucy, I keep calling her I Love Lucy, where Lucille Ball saw the chocolate factory machine and got the idea to do the thing on the episode.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
Awesome.
I went there. I just had happened to be there and I saw that they had candy corn. And I was joking like, what if I have to come here to get candy corn? 3 days later, I'm there asking for candy corn.
Wow.
But
You're stupid.
this little bag, I'm rich. No, that's stupid. I'm rich. This little bag was $5.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I bet the bag is more than the candy corn cost.
And I realized I could have, because I just said like, give me $5 worth. I could have said, give me $1 worth and I would have had enough candy corn. But I just wanted to see if there was any difference. So this is the luxury candy corn.
Yeah.
So I brought stale candy corn and I brought luxury
Wow,
candy
no
corn.
middle, huh? No middle.
You are the middle. You've got the store brand.
The CVS brand, which I found
at CVS.
Yes, thank you. Oh, sorry, I was trying to remember how much it cost. I think it was like $1 and some change.
If candy corn costs more than like
Free.
$2,
Free. If it costs, then you're in trouble.
it should be like the packaging and other things. Instead of packaging peanuts, it should just be candy corn. Well, all right. Which one do you want to try first? Do you want to?
We should go stale.
Yeah, let's go
middle.
stale first.
Well, no. Let's do middle because if we have the stale, we're getting a bad. We won't even know if it's stale.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
let's try yours.
All right,
we'll
all
try
right.
the CVS brand. So we've got.
Golden Emblem brand.
All right.
It's beautiful. Like it looks so good.
It's pretty. I'm going to give it a sniff.
We could all look at this chart real quick before we start.
Smells gross.
There's
nice.
an
What the
actual way from the National Confectioners Association to tell you how to eat candy corn, which is layer by layer.
What?
As I take it out of my ear.
Yeah. Okay. So they asked. So this isn't official. This is a poll. What is the right way to eat candy corn? 31% of the people say start with the narrow white end. 52% of the people say eat the whole piece at once. 17% say they start with the yellow whiter end.
What was the highest percentage? Eat it all at once.
Eat it all at once.
So
Okay.
you want to try each?
We have different ones.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do you want to try? Let's eat the whole thing first.
Okay.
Whole thing
Let's
first.
try that. Smells awful.
I don't smell much.
It just smells like sweet.
Okay.
I'm resting it on my tongue
Oh
for a little bit.
God.
I remember it being a lot harder to crack, like the wax being more waxy. It's not as waxy as I remember.
You know what?
Don't say it.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
not bad. Like,
It's not as bad as I thought.
I am ashamed.
But it's waxy as hell.
yeah.
It tastes. I like frosting on cakes,
okay.
and this does taste like frosting.
Yeah,
Maybe
you're
I
right.
like. Do I like candy?
Eat a whole bag right now and you won't.
Yeah, in front of us. I'm going to start questioning everything I've publicly disavowed.
So candy corn is your favorite candy.
That was not bad.
It's a very subtle taste. It's not as strong as I remember. It's also not as waxy as I remember.
I remember it being waxy, and
Yeah.
that's what I didn't like. But this is more like cake frosting.
Yeah.
So you want to try just the little white end
Yeah.
now?
You want to let's do just the
just-
white.
A
So
little nibble.
31% of people say to start this way. Start with a little narrow end.
I actually don't like that
It does taste different than
Yeah.
doing the whole thing.
because it's 3 different.
Is it?
The dye maybe gives it
yeah.
a different flavor, and it kind of works better together.
Okay. And then the next most popular is...
Eat the yellow.
Yeah.
All right, we can do that on the same one.
These are people who want it to be like real corn.
Yeah, the yellow part actually looks like a corn kernel.
Is it a little sweeter?
I think it's a little bit sweeter.
I guess you know what it is?
Or maybe there's more of it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the fat end.
It's true. It's the big fat bottom of the candy corn.
So I stand with the eat it all together people.
Yeah. Go with eat it all
Me
together.
too. Yeah, that makes the most sense.
That was not that bad. I'm going to cut one of these open just to see what it looks like.
I'm going to do the same thing.
It looks the same. I mean, it's, the 3 layering is already on the outside, so there's not much of a difference, really.
It's kind of crystally inside, but not enough to be like, whoa, I think I found gold.
What the hell?
Whoa.
Now, let's try the standard type of candy corn, but the stale one. So we're going to the old-ass Brax.
And we're eating it all together, right?
All together. So the 3-colored one, because we also have the one with the brown bottom.
Right.
But let's do the 3-colored one.
So the Brax is definitely bigger.
It's way bigger
than the CVS.
It's like this is like a human tooth.
Yeah.
It also is the CVS brand was really molded well in a nice shape. This is like chunky and looks chunky. Like handmade.
Yeah.
I bring this candy and you say it's chunky and
the orange portion of it does
it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
But the color of it is weird. It's like orange brown.
Well, it is. It has been open for 6 months.
Yeah.
The air has been affecting it differently.
And I left it next to my brown paint.
All right, I'm going in.
All right. It's got a stronger smell. Oh my God.
Oh, no.
This is what I had the problem with.
All right, I'll spit it out.
Oh.
Instantly spit it out.
This might be stale.
Oh, man.
No.
But it has a much worse flavor.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the staleness.
Yeah.
The CVS brand was much better than that.
We're going to have to revisit maybe in a little mini episode.
Oh, boy.
That was hard to eat. That was really strong.
I mean, I would imagine the other ones are going to be just as bad.
But they seem to taste different.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm assuming the brown has a different flavor.
Oh, yeah. This is harvest. Well, it was once Indian corn is now harvest corn.
Okay, good.
So the one with the brown bottom is harvest corn. So let's try this old ass harvest corn.
Old ass harvest corn going in.
Still stale.
Yeah, that's hard. I think the brown is chocolate.
Yeah. I was going to say Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
It is a Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
And I don't really like that.
I don't hate it.
I like this more than normal candy corn.
Yeah.
Let's try. We have a pumpkin. We have.
Oh, yeah. I've never had these pumpkins before, but the
green. What is the green?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it going to be minty pumpkin? Let's try it.
But people who love candy corn, they always talk about pumpkins the most.
Well, because it's like more bang for your buck because it's like all orange. Oh, God. Okay. I don't like your faces.
It's hard to break down.
Tastes like the color.
That tasted like regular candy corn. I couldn't pick a taste out of that.
This is not as good as the CVS.
It is not. That is all orange. And as we've already found, you need the balance of all the colors to make it work. So let's try some of the luxury Edelweiss candy corn. It looks exactly like the CVS one.
Yeah.
It probably just is the CVS one.
The white is a little more translucent or opaque.
Yeah, you're right.
They're smaller, right?
The white is bigger on mine
They're smaller
than the oranges.
They're definitely smaller. Yeah, my white are bigger and the orange is almost non-existent. Or the yellow, I mean, is almost non-existent. All right, let's try one of these.
Whoa.
Yeah, right.
A lot more chewy.
Yeah.
That's a lot chewier.
The wax is a little stronger, but it doesn't. I don't hate that.
This is the candy corn I don't like.
Yeah, this is terrible.
I like the CVS brand because it was more like frosting to me.
Yeah.
That was not bad, but
this is super waxy.
I'm going to try it's the waxy that always turned me off.
But that's like people's favorite thing is like that waxy plastic texture.
It's disgusting.
It doesn't taste good.
I like the CVS ones. I like the CVS ones.
It's a little more earthy. The Edelweiss one.
It's corn. It's from the earth.
Yeah.
To be honest, there's not much difference between the stale one and the Edelweiss waxy one.
CVS all day.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the
Golden Emblem brand sold at CVS.
It's softer.
It's frosting. Like it's a corn made of frosting. And but I don't know if this is I think the waxier ones are a more accurate representation of what candy corn is.
Yeah.
Does Jelly Belly still make candy corn?
I believe they do.
And if so, we need to revisit.
Oh, you're right.
With non-stale Brax and Jelly Bellies.
Impossible.
And we'll bring CVS, which is our champion of the day.
Yeah, we'll have a Jelly Belly finals. Candy corn finals.
As I eat more, it gets like spicier. I don't know what's going on here. Or I could be dying.
The corn is doing its work on your body. Your digestive system is rejecting it. I'm going to try another waxy one.
No, it's not good.
I mean, I understand, like with Butterfinger, I like the texture of it.
Yeah.
So I understand people's arguments of it's about the texture with candy corn, but like, it's weird. Like, you got to admit, like, it's because you have a fantasy of eating plastic or something, and that's why you're liking this.
Is there a buttery kind of flavor going on with the Edelweiss?
Let me see.
It seems more buttery.
Maybe.
I mean, either way, I don't like it, but
yeah, it's maybe smooth. I mean, like I said, it's hard to compare between the CVS one and anything else because they almost feel like two different candies. The CVS one is different.
Yeah.
Well, I learned a little bit more about candy corn. So what would you, out of 5 cavities, what would you give candy corn?
I was ready to give it a 1. I think I'm going to give it like a 2.5 now.
Wow, that's really high.
Because
by candy corns day. You
ate everything in front of me.
Ate 'em Vice.
Ate 'em Vice.
But the golden emblem was obviously the winner of today. Maybe fresh Brax/Brox might be a contender.
Maybe. You know what? I think I'm getting this spiciness now, but I think it's just hurting my throat.
The more you eat, like this buildup.
I think it's just hurting my throat because it's so waxy. I think our throats are closing. Did we bring EpiPens today? I would give, if I'm going to rate the CVS brand separately, I'm going to give it a 2. Mm-hmm. If I'm going by Edelweiss and Old Ass Brax as what candy corn is, I'm going to give it a 0.25. I got to give it 0.25.
Wow. All right.
What about you?
So I appreciate the history. I appreciate the
that has nothing to do with
it. The old-timey craftsmanship, and a lot of labor went into making that. So that's going to push it up to a 1 for me for the CVS and a 0 for Brax.
God, you've given another thing. You are not afraid to damn some candies. But if we're going by look, like to give credit where credit is due of like defining Halloween and looking good, candy corn is a 5 on that. But actually eating it, I'd rather become one of the ghosts on Halloween.
That's what I was saying is like I can eat one of them or a small handful and I'll be like, it's pretty good. And I'll remember it for next year. But like if you try to eat a whole bag, like it's a subtle taste when you eat a few, but it becomes like an overwhelming, like flat, hot taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I can't breathe. My eyes are bulging.
I'm turning red.
It's like what's that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he goes to
Total
Mars?
Recall.
It's like Total Recall.
That's our head right now.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
but even though I probably had like 6 pieces just now, which like doubles my lifetime amount of candy corn I've ever had.
It also cuts your life in half.
1 candy corn takes out 4 hugs of your grandchildren per candy corn you eat. Even the amount I've eaten just now, I'm like, I've had enough.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever need candy corn until we do the final matchup.
Just like a side question, is anyone looking for just more candy corn?
I'm half price.
Yeah, half price for
me too. I've got like it's still fresh. It is technically not yet expired. I will resell this.
If Melissa wants a bag of candy corn, it's right there for her.
Trust me, she's got plenty from Edelweiss.
No, those are better, Melissa. You want those?
Let her do the taste
I think she she should. Okay, I'll take. Give me all your trash. I'll take.
Give me all your candy.
I'll give it to Melissa. So, would you be excited to get this on Halloween?
No.
A small baggie of it.
An unmarked handmade baggie of it?
Yeah, a hand baggie with razor blades in it. The razor blades are bigger than the candy.
Yeah, I got it. No, absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, okay. A little bit.
Because you know what? They're not going to give you the CVS brand one.
You're right.
You're going to get Brax.
You are. And if they do give you the CVS brand in their little baggies, I'm not eating that.
Rolled up like it's like a dime bag or something.
And I have to meet the guy at the back door rather than for the regular candy, you say trick or treat at the front. In the back, you say pineapple, whatever, and they say the special code and they give you it. So you would be kind of excited?
A little bit. If it was, I mean, like I wouldn't. It certainly wouldn't be the top of my list, but like a little bit of candy corn's fine. Yeah. You know, you run out of candy eventually, and then you start hitting the lower tier candies, and those are the
ones that stick around till next Halloween, and then you just throw them out or give them to trick or treaters.
Yeah, the little strawberry candies, they stick.
How dare you?
That's not.
Those are good candies.
They're good.
If you like lead.
It's not Luca candy. Like those are yummy candies.
I can't have too many in a row because I'll just hate them.
Yeah, but so to wind us down, I've got a little game for us.
Yes.
Brand new game that can only be played once. So the game is it a character from Candyland or a character from a Roald Dahl story?
Oh God, okay.
I quit.
This will be a challenge in that I've never played Candyland before.
Really?
Yeah. I probably played it when I was
I don't read.
You neglected children. I loved Candyland. Like Candyland, I can still see the board and get hungry.
Is that like Snakes and Ladders? What's the deal with Candyland?
Shoots and Ladders.
Is
it a Shoots and Ladders?
Snakes and Ladders. It's Snakes and Ladders in other countries. It's Shoots and Ladders here in America.
Yeah.
Cowboys and rope ladders. And no, not real. It's not like, actually not at all. It's like that in that it's a board game, yes. But it's basically just like, it's totally linear. You just go.
And you're just following a path.
Yeah.
And stuff happens to you.
And like, oh my God, a gumdrop.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the name of a character. You have to tell me.
The name of the character.
In the name of the character. The Holy Chocolate. Okay, so I'm going to give you the name of the character. You tell me, is this from a Roald Dahl story or from the game Candyland?
Okay.
Some of these I bet you could reverse engineer.
Okay.
So an easy one to start, Lord Licorice.
Candyland.
Candyland. You
Great.
got it.
Woo!
You got 1 point already. So now, Prince Pondicherry.
Roald Dahl.
Candyland.
Roald Dahl.
Damn.
Roald Dahl.
Roald.
Forgive
I don't
me.
know.
Roald Dahl.
Roald. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Valentine's.
Valentine's. For Valentine's, I'm giving you a Ronald Dahl book.
By Liam Nielsen. He's the prince in India that Willy Wonka makes a chocolate palace for.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
They have that in the new movie, but it's in the book
All right.
because they didn't have the technology back then.
I hear some heresy. Is there more than one book?
There's a sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory called Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, because if you remember, the movie ends with them shooting up into the sky above formerly Nazi Germany.
And he asked, "Are we going to survive?" He's like, "Let's find out," or something. And then like they're in the air, and you never see him land. And
How
you're
many times do you have to put my life at risk today? So the next one, Jennifer Honey.
Candyland. That's 2 on the nose.
Yeah, I agree.
For the doll man.
It is the doll man. That is
Wow.
the teacher from Matilda. Is Jennifer Honey.
You're right.
Yeah, Matilda is Roald Dahl. You forget that.
You forget yourself.
I forget Matilda. So
How dare you?
the candy corn of
Grandma Nut.
Oh my God. That better be doll action. I'm going to say Roald Dahl.
That's Candyland.
wow.
She's got a bunch of nuts.
This is a good game.
Apparently, I did it to Melissa, and she got every single one. She's like, I played Candyland, and I've read Roald Dahl books.
Yeah, see that.
And now
I failed on both accounts.
I know I found the perfect audience. 2 stupid people who have never done either.
The door was open and I walked in.
These podcast hosts just walk in off the street. So Frostine.
Candyland.
Yeah, Candyland.
Candyland. She is the wife of King Candy.
Oh.
Frostine.
She sounds pretty young for being a wife.
Is she happy in that relationship?
They cut the queen's head off. So.
Let her eat cake. Let them eat cake. She is mostly cake, so we'll eat her. We're cannibals? So Gloppy.
Gloppy?
Let me think
Gloppy.
about this.
It could be a Pokemon.
Pokeglop.
It's the name of the Mel Gibson World War I drama.
Gallopoli.
Gallopoli.
Another thing you mispronounce all the time.
I'm going to say Roald Dahl.
I feel like one word names are beneath him. So I'm going to say doll.
It's Candyland.
I was right with my instinct.
He actually looks like Grimer from Pokemon,
Oh, hell yeah.
but he's made out of molasses.
Oh.
So is that where they got the idea from?
Maybe. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised. Candyland certainly came out first. Farmer Bean.
I'm going to say Candyland.
I'm going doll.
I mean, even if you haven't read the books, you've seen these Roald Dahl movies. This is Roald Dahl. He's one of the farmers from Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh.
Farmer Bean. He's one of the 3 farmers.
No. Do they sing the song about Mr. Bean?
You're thinking of Mr. Bean.
I'm thinking Mr. Bean. What's the foxes sing a song? The animals sing a song about one of the bad guys, but
Yeah.
which one is
Isn't
it?
it the guy who has the chicken coop?
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
a chicken processing thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he makes chicken feed?
Oh,
Or
he makes chicken feet. He makes chicken feet. You remember? He makes them.
It's a laborious process.
That's most of the movie. So here's the last one.
Doll. Brrr, is doll.
Gerald McBoing Boing. Plumpy.
Doll.
Candyland.
Candyland. He's the plum monster. Duh.
And he's plum a monster.
We gotta play. If we do a bonus episode, we'll play Candyland in one of the bonus episodes.
love that
It's a
idea.
really. I mean, I say this as my memory of a 4-year-old. It's a really fun game,
Yeah.
and it's really hard.
It's really good.
I mean, your parents are gonna have to help you finish this. So before we say goodnight. Before we say goodnight, Gracie, if you have any candy games or candy suggestions or comments, listener questions, email us at candyisdandypodcast.com. Please subscribe
Please.
anywhere, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever, and leave a review if you can.
Much appreciated.
It helps us in these early days to show people like, hey, this isn't trash like I assumed it was. This person this random person likes it.
This isn't candy corn.
Yeah, we are not the candy
The
corn,
candy corn of
podcasts.
podcasts. So you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, Candy is Dandy Pod. TikTok, Candy is Dandy Pod, also, where we will be posting the candy vivisections but as we've known, there's not much to see in the candy corn. I'll just show you a candy corn, and that's it.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. No, but cut it.
Those will also be on YouTube. You could support us on Patreon, patreon.com/candyisdandy. It really helps us going so that we can do more of these episodes for you. If you like it, we really need money. And if we get enough of you, we'll start doing bonus episodes where we will taste cookies.
Nom nom cookies.
I was pleasantly surprised. I wouldn't say pleasantly surprised. I was surprised by candy corn in some forms.
The CVS brand is really doing it. I'm sure
it's very weird. Sometimes store brand stuff is better than the name brand things.
I'm curious if like
meat. Like the meat that they throw on the floor, and I pick it up and I eat it.
Yeah, a bag of meat hanging off the rack. I wonder if candy corn fanatics will like this because it's not wax. It might not be waxy enough for them, and maybe they dig the wax.
I'm gonna have hardliners.
Yeah, the hardliners. Thank you.
The one issue candy eaters.
Yeah, Michigan and Iowa are gonna come against us,
but we might get Arizona. I will give Melissa both of them and see what she thinks.
Okay, the true taste tester in this.
Yeah. She's not our intern, is she?
Well, you've heard her beautiful voice in every episode, right? We'll get back to you maybe on a different episode on that. What did Melissa think?
Yeah.
The new segment at the beginning. So thanks for listening and sticking with the candy corn.
Thanks for listening and stick it.
Stick it, candy corn.
And as need I say, up your nose with a rubber hose. Sit on it.
All phrases I came up with right now.
And here's a new one. What do you think of this? Eat my shorts. So stay sweet out there, you sucrose loving
hot tamales.
Oh, you Mike and Ike's.
Yeah, Red Hots.
Yeah, yours made more sense than mine. But that's it. I said it and I don't regret it. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Juju bees.